Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to this morning's edition of Contracting Chatter. You know how it is over here. You hear it every morning. We don't believe in growing alone. So tag your business besties, share it amongst your network, grab your contractor's notebook, your favorite beverage. If you're driving, listening, just turn up the volume. That's why you have a business bestie to take notes. We're getting the conversation started. Hmm. Interesting. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you had an amazing and productive day and a restful night. We're here to get started with Contracting Chat. I'm your host, Luciana Turner, the founder of LT&A Consulting Group, a boutique government contracting, consulting, and training firm. Let's start the conversation this morning with performing, or I'm going to start with a question. Do you perform situational analysis or debriefs? That's the question. Do you perform situational analysis or debriefs? A situational analysis is just looking at what's going on and seeing what works, what doesn't work, and moving and making the plans or adjusting your plans according to what's going on. A debrief is after the fact. You're then doing a retrospective look, and you're looking at the totality of how you started, how you executed, how it finished, and how could things, like, what were the wins? We always celebrate our wins. And then what were the things we could have done better? Good morning. Did you receive your meeting request? Um, and what we could have done better? So, my question to you is, do you perform situational analysis and do you perform a debrief? And the reason I'm asking this question is this. I'm going to ask another question and then I'm going to go into it. How many times have you been successful when you thought you should have failed? I'm going to ask that a question again. How many times were you successful and you thought you should have failed? And how many times have you failed when you thought you should have been successful? And do you know the reason why? That's why I'm asking the question. And I always use real life examples and real life situations to make a point. You know, if everybody would tap the screen, share the live on TikTok and everywhere else, if you just tap the screen, and you know how we were raised, as you enter the room, if you will say hello, because your next business partner may be in the chat with you. Here's the point I was going to make. I lead a women's group, and I was recently given a co-leader. And I was thinking, great, because I wasn't supposed to be the original leader, but there was no leader. No leader showed up. I stepped up to become the leader. So I was leading the group, and then a leader was chosen. So we were made co-leaders versus demoting me down to the position I said I would step up for. We had our first event Sunday, and she's coming in after we had already been meeting. Keep that in mind. So to her, the event was thrown together in 2 weeks. To me, it was a month. Now, debriefing, I didn't know that the date on the poll was incorrect. However, we were all working on an incorrect date until it was corrected on a chat. Hey, everything is bumped up a week. Well, in the chat, everybody realized it was moved up a week. So I just, once again, still not thinking about it. The event was titled around what we were supposed to be doing, which is why the date is important. My mentor had a event at the church. So we centered the event around streaming the event at the church. Keep that in mind. Now, we had some hiccups. She was supposed to find a location and she couldn't. Every location that we came up with wanted $600 to $700, and it was just crazy. So I finally said, look, we'll just have it at my clubhouse. The group is 68 people strong. 19 people said they would show up for a myriad of reasons. 5 people sent contributions. By industry standards, that's good. Those 5 people showed up. Now, the contributions towards the refreshments came in. When I say last minute, I mean last minute. But we couldn't give out a location until the last minute because we didn't have one. We didn't decide to do my clubhouse until that Saturday, and the event was Sunday. But as soon as we gave a location, the 5 people donated and we moved on. Situational analysis, you adjust. You see what's going on, you keep making adjustments. I had a call with her that Saturday and said, do you want to cancel? She said no. So we pressed through. We have the event. It was a great event. The ladies that showed up, we had a great time. We had great conversations. We had great connections. Until Monday morning, when she called, and she was just she made this statement that I thought was interesting. She was like, that event should have failed with all the problems that we had. And I was sitting there like, no, the event was a success because of the problems we had. Lesson number 1, anytime you're putting on an event, it will never go smooth. You will run into problems. So I don't care if you're hosting a 5,000 person event, a 50-person event, or a 2-person event. If you're holding a dinner party or you're doing cupcakes with friends, there's always going to be a problem. There's no such thing as a problem-free event. That's the first lesson. And she felt, from her perspective, the event should have failed because of all the problems we had. I mean, we had the venue, the having to do my clubhouse TV not working, and not knowing until the clubhouse rental office opened at 1 o'clock and the event was at 5. See me, I believe in pivoting. I was going to come over to my apartment and grab one of my TVs, and we was cool because my TV connects to the internet. We was cool. For her, she needed to go get a projector, and then she got the projector, and the projector didn't connect. It was just once. So the food, she didn't expect to have to spend as much money out of pocket for the food. Now for 5 people, we spent $180. That's not a lot of money for sandwiches, a food, and fruit tray. That's not a lot of money to feed 5, 6, 7 people. So during the debriefs, she focused on the negative, and I'm not knocking her. This is the business lesson. What I want to tell you is you celebrate the wins so that you can properly evaluate what went wrong. So you can put into perspective what went wrong. So that you can say, okay, we have this great win. Now, how can we make the win better? But when you go into a debriefing and all you're doing is saying, well, this went wrong, and this went wrong, and this went wrong, and this went wrong, you're already setting yourself up to find fault and lay blame. And finding fault and taking responsibility are two different things. Okay, I had the wrong date on the poll, which somebody brought up. Okay, I took responsibility for that. But that wasn't why we had the difficulties we had. Let's we situationally solved every problem as it came up. And during the debrief, we could have and we should have focused on how we could have made it better versus dwelling on what went wrong. Here's the business lesson, if in case you didn't get it. Nothing goes smoothly, nothing goes perfectly. Always plan for a hiccup. Everybody who says they're coming doesn't come. I have a video that I favorite, and I'm going to share it across all my platforms. People pay to attend live events and don't show up. What makes you think everybody's going to come to a free event? When problems arise, go into problem solving mode. That's why I talk to you guys about pivoting so much. You have to be able to pivot in business and move and shake and not get caught up in this idealized situation. Because she idealized just coming in, sitting down, and just being able to just meet and greet and not the behind the scenes. And not a knock, but I can tell she's never been in charge of anything from concept to execution, because everybody who's been in charge of anything from concept to execution knows things go wrong. Your debrief is celebrating a win, figuring out what you did right and how you can do it better, and what you did wrong, why it went wrong, and how you can avoid those wrongs. That's what this is all about. So if you don't ever do situational analysis in your business, if you don't ever sit back after the fact and do a debrief, you're missing out on the opportunity to enrich your company, enrich your business, enrich the things that are going on so that you can learn from everything and scale. You can't learn from your mistakes if you never analyze them. I'm going to say that again. You can't learn from your mistakes if you never analyze them. So that's the business tip of the day. Around anything, situationally analyze, perform a debrief, and you have to be able to move on the pivot. Because when things go wrong, I'm going to tell you, when things go wrong, they typically go all the way wrong. Whew. And with that, I've been telling you guys about my contracting and business week for the last few weeks. Contracting and business week is July 8th through the 12th. It's the first week of low hanging fruit season. It's when I choose the mid year point because that is the point where people need a little invigoration. People need a little motivation. If you're making your goal, then you should look at your strategy and say, and let me make a few tweaks so you can exceed. Because if you're making your goals, people tend to get lazy in the second half of the year and still miss the mark. If you're not making your goals, people give up. And contracting and business week will give you a reframe so that you don't give up on the second half of the year. For government contractors, July 1st is the beginning of the government's fourth quarter. It's the beginning of the low hanging fruit season. And contracting and business week will give you what you need to maximize the effects of that season. And even if all you do is take the results of the activity for fourth quarter to set you up for Q1 of FY 2025, you're ahead of the mark in government contracting. Remember, the government runs off of a fiscal year that starts October 1st. Good morning, Moses. That starts October 1st. So if you maximize low hanging fruit season, I don't care if you're winning contracts or you're making connections, you start off from a great position October 1st. So that's why I picked July to do contracting and business week. Now, last night I released the formal schedule for that week. Day one, we're forming a contract plan. We're talking about contracting plans day one. On day two, we're talking about strategic partnerships. Day three, I'm your compliance girl. I will always talk about compliance. Because compliance is where a lot of people lose out on money. Contracting plan, you lose money. Strategic partnerships, you lose money. Compliance, you lose a lot of money. Day four, we're talking about how to approach low-hanging fruit season from the perspective of a new contractor. What should you be doing if you're new to government contracting? Because your actions are different from the people that we're talking to on day five. And no matter who you are, you need to stay for the whole week. Because day five, we're low-hanging fruit season for the experienced contractor. And I'm talking experience and new based upon revenue, based upon activity level, based upon understanding. Some people would like to say, well, I'm a new contractor because I've only been a government contractor for 5 years. However, if in that 5 years you have revenues of $1 million, I would argue you're experienced. and you need to up your strategy, and then you need to be looking at some other aspects of your business to tweak your business. Because the accidental contractor can be profitable, you just need to go back and tighten up your framework. So with that said, that's Contracting and Business Week. Now, Contracting and Business Week is a complimentary service. It's free. I'm streaming that live 1 p.m. daily, July 8th through the 12th. This year, I'm offering a VIP option for $97. VIP, we go into a 30-minute Q&A after the live broadcast. You receive a VIP booklet. I'm working on a booklet now. There's some great content in the booklet. And you get invited to a master class that Saturday. And the VIPers will get access to the recordings for 30 days after the event. So whether you decide the free option or you decide to go VIP, you need to show up for Contracting and Business Week. Somebody's saying, I'm not a government contractor. Why should I show up? Because there is something in Contracting and Business Week that applies to you. So if you're not a government contractor, you may not want to show up for day 4 and 5. But days 1 through 3 are for you. Why should I sign up for your mailing list? I'm going to tell you why. So you will get the notices. So you will get the notices and the reminders. I'm only streaming Contracting and Business Week to my YouTube channel. And sometimes you subscribe and you still forget. And then you want to receive the daily nuggets. I send out daily nuggets after the live. You want to receive those. That's why you want to sign up for the email list. Something else I'm doing different this year too. I go live at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The videos are coming down at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So even if you can't make it live at 1 o'clock, you have until midnight Eastern Standard Time to watch the videos. So, but if you want to sign up, go to my link in bio. If you want to go VIP, LTACG.as.me. The option to go VIP is on my scheduling calendar. bit.ly/CNB 2024 is the link to the registration page for everybody else. I think this year is going to be my greatest year doing Contracting and Business Week. This will be my 3rd year doing it. And I really believe that this year is going to be my greatest year. Now, this year, I'm doing it alone. Last year, I had guests every day. This year, I'm doing it alone because I'm just hyper-focusing this year. And 2 of the guests that I wanted to come in for the first part of the week, we had scheduling conflicts. However, they will be at my anniversary celebration next year. I've already locked them in. So, everybody within the sound of my voice, if you have a business, you want to show up for them at minimum the first 3 days. If you're interested in government contracting or you're a government contractor, you want to do the whole week. Contracting and Business Week was designed for you in mind. It will answer those questions. And before you even say, well, we're not talking about proposals, there's so much more to government contracting than writing a proposal. And if you don't have these other parts together, you'll be writing proposals sounding like the calendar link is ltacg.as.me. If your foundation isn't right, it's a mess. If the foundation isn't right, you're going to write a whole bunch of, if you write a compliant proposal, let's start there. I'm recording an episode tomorrow talking about proposal compliance. And let me tell you, a lot of people are writing proposals and getting rejected because your proposals are not compliant. And what I mean is your proposals don't even answer the questions that the person who's asking them asked you. So let's go there. Good morning, Patty. So if you're not answering the questions, how do you expect to win anything? They're asking you how you're delivering service and you're talking to them about the reason why you started your business. You're non compliant. They gave you a specific order for the RFP, for the proposal within the RFP, and you decided to just put it in any order you wanted to put it in because it felt good to you. You're non compliant. That's why I do a whole training class on decoding the RFP. You need to answer it the way they told you to answer it, and you need to provide the information they asked for. They don't have time to go through a creative writing process. And a lot of you, and I'm gonna keep saying this until it gets through to you, are writing hello beautiful proposals. You know what I mean? You've gotten the inboxes, you've gotten the email, the messages on your social media inboxes, hello beautiful, and you rolling your eyes. That's how some of y'all proposals sound because you don't have the basics. But I went on that tirade already. I don't need to repeat it. You know that joker that show up in, I'm gonna make the analogy again. That character that shows up in your inbox with hello beautiful and you roll your eyes and hit the delete button versus the guy that shows up in your inbox with a proper introduction. Your proposal is supposed to be a proper introduction. And a lot of times you guys sound like hello beautiful because you don't have your framework together. And your framework is the basis for how you respond to a proposal, which is why you need to be at the contracting business week. Get your framework together, then you can come up with a good proposal. So once again, if you want to register, I updated my link tree. So you can go to my link tree and sign up. Honey, it's shady over here because that's what they sound like. I put it in common vernacular people could resonate with. Well, you know how annoying it is when you open your DMs and somebody talking about, hey, beautiful. Because why should I respond to you? You know why I responded to one person who DM'd me? Because he took the time to one, tell me his name. Hello, you got a name. He said, hello, my name is, and I wanted to reach out to you. Wait a minute, I paid attention. Now, all I said to him in response was, thank you for the compliment. But I responded because he did something besides hello, beautiful. You want your proposal to do the same, make an impression. But I'm not going to go on that tirade today. Don't take me there. And I will throw as much shade as I need to throw until we start pruning the tree so we can grow properly. Now, if you want that pity pat stuff, you're gonna have to follow somebody else. If you want the truth, you got to hear. Because I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and I'm telling you, a lot of these so-called experts don't know what they're talking about, have never worked in the industry, or they're teaching you their bad habits. And they just so happen to have lucked up on a government contract. Because there is such thing as the accidental contractor. They just so happen to have won one or two major contracts, or back in they have some state contracts they won because they're friends with somebody that's friends with somebody, and now they want to say, I'm going to teach you how to be a government contractor, because they know there's more money in consulting than on the other side. That's another story for another day. Matter of fact, that might be a master class. I'm teaching you from an audit perspective because I've done the audits. So I know what the auditors look for. I've talked to the contracting officers. I know what their frustrations are. I was in industry with one of the top 10 government contractors. I heard the project managers, the program managers talk about their headaches with subcontractors. I'm teaching you what I know so you can power partner and make money. So, work with a system. And I'm not going to 20. And the first clue that somebody is not who they say they are, especially in this industry, is they going to teach you something for $27 that you know costs $2,000. Come on. We need to cut it out. Tell the truth, shame the lie. However, with that said, it is time to invest in our businesses at the level in which we want to return. My corporate coach said something on her live last night that I'm going to share with you. Success doesn't leave clues. Success leaves blueprints. And when she said that, I said, you know what? She done shouted. We need to pass collection plates. She done broke down the church and rebuilt the church. She done did a whole lot, because success doesn't leave clues. It doesn't leave blueprints. My anniversary event is going to be the kickoff of a yearly contractors intensive. Now, I'm doing a micro one this year. We're 2 days getting your stuff right. If you need help with SAMs, you're gonna have to come an extra day, because walking through SAMs is a whole nother process. Because most people have problems with SAMs. Most people have problems with their government contracting because you're working in the wrong NACE codes. That's not a lie. That is something we're going to have to do, and it's go from you started your business. One, you are one person. Your business is another, per the Supreme Court and the IRS. So you're two entities. Two, your experience is your business experience until you get experience under your belt. That's another thing. Three, we're going to walk the way you take your experience, making your business experience, take that experience and make it and match it to a NACE code. We have to do that thing. And you know what? Petty, that recycled information, that's because they're listening to somebody like me and trying to teach it. And they can't. That's how I lost my first Facebook page. Because I caught somebody teaching my information. And when I called her out, she reported my page. I had to start all over again. That's okay, because she eventually got caught. But that's a mess. That's a mess. Teach what you know. We're all an expert at something we do. You will never hear me teach marketing, because guess what? A girl can't market. But I know compliance. I know government contracting. I can put together a budget in my sleep. I can do strategy. I got you. Marketing. I know somebody that I can refer you to. She's a great marketing coach. Great marketing coach. Mindset. I've got two people that I can refer you to. Great mindset coaches. I can even do taxes. I just don't advertise it. I can do taxes. But I also have some people in my Rolodex that I can refer you to. I know a great lawyer for copyright and trademark. She's speaking at my anniversary event September next year. Put it on your calendar. I'm putting out the information for that now because guess what? The ticket for the anniversary event is not cheap. You're going to need a payment plan. That's okay. I'm going to give you time to work on it because all of my events, all of my big events in person, when you pay for the ticket, it includes the food. That's one of the reasons. So all you paying for is the hotel. You eat when you come to my events. So there's just so much there's so much more to the story than I want to talk about writing a proposal. If you're not wanting to talk about getting your business straight, then I'm not the girl for you. Now I'll be here when you have to fix your mess. And that's going to cost you more than if you had did it right in the first place. But with that, I I know that the content I'm putting together for Contracting and Business Week will make the difference in your business. So go to, I would say go VIP, but it's up to you. If you want to do the free option, that's fine. You want, I implore you to go VIP so you get that behind the scenes Q&A, the VIP booklet, and the masterclass, plus access to the videos. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes you need to revisit the videos when you go time to implement. VIP for Contracting and Business Week is $97. Otherwise, Contracting Business Week is a complimentary service. Sign up. If you want to just stay in the loop, you just want some government contracting tips, you want some business tips, some business strategy, just subscribe. just subscribe. Don't forget, on Friday is my last Q&A Friday. So write down your questions and be prepared to show up for Q&A Friday because it's the last Q&A Friday that I'm doing. After that, you're going to have to join the Chatter Factor family, which is $9.99 a month. I'm going to have the registration on all that ready for you guys. And Q&A Fridays is what the Chatter family looks like. Period. In the discussion. And you don't get access to a compliance expert in my industry for $9.99 a month. You just don't do it. And we are at, I want to leave you with this morning. Situational analysis and a debrief will allow you to view all of your situations, all of your events. Go back to stuff that you've done before, projects, events, order fulfillments, no matter what, and review them from the eye of how my wins and what went wrong. When you look at your wins, don't just say, yay, we won. Say, how did I get this win? And how can I duplicate it and then duplicate it on a higher level? When you look at the things that went wrong, you're looking at how can I avoid it in the future? Is it better communication? Is it better planning? Or is it just that it was something that you couldn't avoid going wrong because it was beyond your control? And anything beyond your control, all you can do is pivot and move. Anything beyond your control is a pivot and move. Point blank simple. And with that, have an amazing day. Remember, a stressed mind will never create. So when you're hitting your head against the wall, you need to do you need to do two things. One, walk away from it for a while. Because the harder you stare at it, the more confusing it becomes because your mind becomes a jumbled place. Walk away from it. Two, it's usually a sign that you need assistance. It's usually a sign that you need to bring somebody in, a consultant, a coach, whatever, to help you through that problem. And I'm going to tell you, your family and your friends is not who you want to go to. You want somebody, you want to seek wise counsel, somebody who's 10 steps ahead, not 10 steps ahead of where you are at this moment in time. I will see you tomorrow morning for another edition of Contracting Chatter. I'm your host, Luciana Turner of the LT&A Consulting Group Company. Excuse me. We are a boutique government contracting, consulting, and training firm. Government contracting is our niche, but we also do strategy and budget development. Check out our website at ltaconsultinggroup.com. I will see you tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another installment of Contracting Chatter. Have an amazing day.